how can large amounts of data be transferred or processed as quickly as possible? One key to this could be graphene. The ultrathin material is only one atomic layer thick, and the electrons it contains have very special properties due to quantum effects. It could therefore be very well suited for use in high performance electronic components. Up to this point, however, there has been a lack of knowledge about how to suitably control certain properties of graphene. A new study by a team of scientists from Bielefeld and Berlin, together with researchers from other research institutes in Germany and Spain, is changing this. The team's findings have been published in the journal Science Advances. Consisting of carbon atoms, graphene is a material just one atom thick, where the atoms are arranged in a hexagonal lattice. This arrangement of atoms is what results in graphene's unique property. The electrons in this material move as if they did not have mass. This massless behavior of electrons leads to very high electrical conductivity in graphene, and importantly, this property is maintained at room temperature and under ambient conditions. Graphene is therefore potentially very interesting for modern electronics applications. It was recently discovered that the high electronic conductivity and massless behavior of its electrons allows graphene to alter the frequency components of electric currents that pass through it. This property is highly dependent on how strong this current is. In modern electronics, such a non-linearity comprises one of the most basic functionalities for switching and processing of electrical signals. What makes graphene unique is that its non-linearity is by far the strongest of all electronic materials. Moreover, it works very well for exceptionally high electronic frequencies, extending into the technologically important terahertz range, where most conventional electronic materials fail. In their new study, the team of researchers from Germany and Spain demonstrated that graphene's nonlinearity can be very efficiently controlled by applying comparatively modest electrical voltages to the material. For this, the researchers manufactured a device resembling a transistor, where a control voltage could be applied to graphene via a set of electrical contacts. Then ultra-high frequency terahertz signals were transmitted using the device. The transmission and the subsequent transformation of these signals were then analyzed in relation to the voltage applied. The researchers found that graphene becomes almost perfectly transparent at a certain voltage. Its normally strong non-linear response nearly vanishes. By slightly increasing or lowering the voltage from this critical value, graphene can be turned into a strongly non-linear material, significantly altering the strength and the frequency components of the transmitted and emitted terahertz electronic signals. This is a significant step forward towards implementation of graphene in electrical signal processing and signal modulation applications. The researchers say that earlier they had already demonstrated that graphene is by far the most non-linear functional material. They also understand the physics behind non-linearity, which is now known as thermodynamic picture of ultra-fast electron transport in graphene. But until now they did not know how to control this non-linearity, which was the missing link with respect to using graphene in everyday technologies. By applying the control voltage to graphene, the researchers were able to alter the number of electrons in the material that can move freely when the electrical signal is applied to it. On one hand, the more electrons can move in response to the applied electric field, the stronger the currents, which should enhance the non-linearity. But on the other hand, the more free electrons are available, the stronger the interaction between them is, and this suppresses the non-linearity. Here the researchers demonstrated both experimentally and theoretically that by applying a relatively weak external voltage of only a few volts, the optimal conditions for the strongest terahertz nonlinearity in graphene can be created. The researchers say that with this work they have reached an important milestone on the path towards using graphene as an extremely efficient nonlinear functional quantum material in devices like terahertz frequency converters, mixers and modulators. This is extremely relevant because graphene is perfectly compatible with existing electronic ultra-high frequency semiconductor technologies such as CMOS or BiCMOS. It is therefore now possible to envision hybrid devices in which the initial electric signal is generated at lower frequency using existing semiconductor technology, but can then very efficiently be upconverted to much higher terahertz frequencies in graphene, all in a fully controllable and predictable manner.